Hello and welcome back to the Liberty for Philly podcast. Jared is once again on vacation, but you'll see him again next week. He's not gone for that long this time around. Joining me today is Ben, once again, and this is episode 23, the Michael Jordan episode. Yes, I do believe Michael Jordan's the true 23. Fight me. All right, well, Ben, how are you today?
I am happy to be Jared's subpar replacement for this episode.
You're better than him at making predictions. And that leads us into our first segment today, is our daily updates, our weekly updates on our MLB predictions. Once again, the winner of this, if it is not Alex Carr, gets a follow back from the man himself on Twitter. However, if Alex Carr wins himself, he gets a nice David Hale rookie card, which I just happen to have next to me today.
Mitchell, you're like the expert on rookie cards. How much does that David Hale thing actually cost after this season?
Probably about you could probably find it in a penny bin, maybe 5 cents if you're lucky.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, let's just say his value was not up to performance this year. It's probably not as worth as probably one of these. Not probably the same as good old Freddie Freeman here. But if my Google Sheets can decide to reload, that would be a great situation for us right here. So yeah, let's see who wins. Do you have a prediction of who's in first right now, Ben?
I do, because I feel like he's the greatest sports expert out there. He's very handsome, actually. And I think he's in first with 27 points, I believe.
You are correct.
As much of rings as the Yankees have, which is my second favorite team. Oh man, let's go.
And now it just makes it worse. Yeah, yes, Ben Hoyt is in first place in our predictions. Oddly enough, Jared is not in last place, and he predicted the Cubs to place in first in the NL Central.
When was this prediction made is the question.
It was made the day we recorded originally. He was over in Israel. I don't know if he was following what was going on with the Cubs at the moment. But yeah, so the standings of us right now is Ben Hoyt with 27, Ben Goldstein, Philly Sports Reports, with 21, Alec Eskin at 20, and then Alex Carr with 18, then Jared at 16. I am sad to say enough. I'm second to last place with 15. And in last place, unfortunately, is Mason of the Pittsburgh Sports Podcast. Yeah, we better have some things change up in those standings.
Yeah, but there's a lot of baseball to go. Remember, it's only July 30th, I believe. Let me check my phone. July 31st. I was off by a day. But I you have to go to like September, October. Things could change completely. Now, correct. Do I see things changing completely? Not really. I see a wild card coming from the West no matter what. It just is in terms of, the Giants or Padres. I think the Dodgers are going to win that division. I think they're going to catch up to Gabe Kapler. Their magic's going to run out. But I don't see the Giants falling below the Padres because honestly, Fernando Tatis, he's going to be out for a little while, isn't he?
Yes, he is out, I believe, he's day to day. It looks like it might be a week of rest. He could probably do a little bit. I don't think it was his throwing arm that he tore his shoulder with.
No, but a week does wonders in baseball. And we catch up 4 games, and the Phillies will drop 4 games, and we're right back where we started in the
Yeah, it's basically the Phillies. If how many games they win will automatically go back to them.
And when the spreadsheet loads up, hopefully. I don't know if you've given up on that yet.
Let me try now. Haha, yes, it did work. Okay, great.
So let's scroll up to my predictions real quick and see why I'm in first. So, we got most of the NL West pretty solid in. Padres third, Rockies, Arizona. A lot of people right here.
Oh, wait, wrong Ben. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of people here predicted the Giants. Actually, the only one that hasn't changed besides me is the actual standings. And actually, no, that's my prediction. Never mind. That was a brain fart presented by Unwrapped Sports. No, taking a look at the other ones, everyone predicted the Giants here. A lot of people predicted St. Louis as the second place. I have the Reds, which is in actual standings.
I
And then
flipped those. I thought the Reds would do more at the deadline by getting Trevor Story, but apparently Colorado wants to keep him. So
that's not
yeah.
happening. He'll just leave in the offseason. But
Mm.
but for right now, again, the Reds are ahead. I don't know. I think I swept a lot of the West and Central regions pretty
Yeah, you
good.
swept the Central. You swept the East. You've flip flopped the top of the West. Then moving over to the AL, you got that right, except for the Angels in Seattle switcheroo. And then your AL Central bottom three is kind of mixed up, and
Right.
and then in the AL East, all you need is the Red Sox to drop the second.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to depend on that Central Division for the AL, but
Mm.
I'm surprised Jared's not in last. I really do. He predicted what the Yankees to be in first this year.
Uh, the Cubs, and I believe he had the Yankees moving up to second or first.
Yeah, I think that will fade over time for Jared because remember he has to go to playoff predictions and so do us, and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to lose or gain points, almost like a March Madness bracket in this situation.
Yeah, agreed. My computer just tried randomly playing a video, so that's fun. Shush, Barkan. I don't want to hear you. Shush. There you go.
I'm
Speaking of
looking at.
that, let's lead into the Phillies. One game under 500 after a very unfortunate showing in Pittsburgh last night. And the trade deadline was yesterday. There were many surprises. It did seem like for a brief second the Phillies would be trading for Byron Buxton, Josh Donaldson, and a pitcher from the Twins. However, that did not come into fruition as there was not enough time when the Twins decided to open up talks for those players. And the Phillies believe that they probably do more in the offseason than what they could do now at the trade deadline. Major trade from yesterday. Freddie Galvis is returning to the team. He unfortunately will not be back to the team for about 2 weeks. He has a bad quad injury. I had him on fantasy, so that was fun. Um, he will go to rehab in AAA and possibly rejoin the team as soon as in 2 weeks. However, um, major trade. Spencer Howard is no longer on this franchise on any level. He's now going to the Texas Rangers. Spencer Howard and two other minor leaguers were traded for Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, and Hans Klaus. I will say that with a German accent because it's funny and it's from Die Hard. So yeah. Um, yeah, Hans is number 4 ranking prospect now on our MLB pipeline rankings. Kyle Gibson is slated to pitch. So here's the interesting thing with the Phillies. So today, Aaron Nola is pitching, which is a great thing after Vince Velasquez forgot how to pitch yesterday. And then Sunday will be Kyle Gibson. Monday will be Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez is transitioning out of the bullpen. You would have seen probably Bailey falter in this role. However, he's just coming back from having COVID. He's on a rehab assignment for the next couple of days. And then Zach Wheeler will start Tuesday. And then Chase Anderson will pitch on Wednesday. This is a stretch of must-win games for the Phillies. They're going up against the Pirates till Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it is against the Washington Nationals. And then we head into a must-win situation against the first place New York Mets. New York Mets are on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They might have a 4-game series. I don't know. Let me double check that real quick. But Ben, what do you think of the Phillies here with the decisions they made? Does this set them off for a good offseason, or do you think they just thought they could win with this at the moment?
Well, again, we're taking a look at Dombrowski saying that he does not want to move people, and he showed that. I mean, he decided to move Spencer Howard because he does not feel like he's an important asset to this team anymore, and kind of was a bust. But at least they got the starter and the reliever back from it, Gibson and Kennedy. I'm completely happy with helping the bullpen and starting pitching, but you would like to see a little bit more, right? I mean, if you could have gotten Buxton now, I would have gotten Buxton, but
Yeah.
at
But
least
I believe that just cutting in here,
yeah,
the Twins wanted Bryson Stott and Alec Boehm. or just have the Phillies take on all the salary from Josh Donaldson but still trade away Alec Boehm. So I guess the Phillies believe to see how Alec Boehm pans out, and I believe Dave Dombrowski said they will revisit it in the off season. So I do believe the Phillies, this organization has been promising will be competing for the past couple of years. However, I believe this offseason is the most important in the rebuilding phase of this team. A lot of storied free agents out there, from Noah Syndergaard, Chris Bryant, Trevor Story, Javier Baez. There's a lot of good pitchers out there as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the Phillies do here.
Yeah, and I was about to say before you jumped in, I think that we'll get Buxton in the offseason. I don't think that should be a problem unless we do a kind of Philadelphia lull type of thing. I don't know. It's just disappointing to me. I mean, Freddie Galvis, we needed defense, and he is something that he is someone that provides that. But again, there are teams that trade for Freddie Galvis for a reason, and there's teams that trade Freddie Galvis for a reason. So it goes two ways. A lot of people want to trade for him, and a lot of people want to get him out of there.
Yeah.
He's just that type of player.
Yeah, this month of August is going to be really important for the Phillies. They finish up this 3-game series with Pittsburgh, then they travel to Washington for 4, the Mets for 3, the Dodgers for 3, and the Reds for 3, and then they now move west on a West Coast trip to Arizona and San Diego for 3 games each, 2 games against the Rays, 4 against the Diamondbacks, and then they finish off August with 3 against the Nationals. Then in the month of September, we got Miami, Colorado, Cubs, Mets, Braves, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta, and then Miami.
I'm not looking at this in September. Like, you can scrap all those games in September. We need to focus on one series at a time. Like, we're focusing on a tree, but then there's a whole bigger picture that we need to, see. Well, actually, bigger picture. Now we have to focus on a tree.
Yeah. I was to say, if you think about it, this team really needs to sign Cole Hamels with the rotation it has right now.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, going back to the whole schedule thing, how many games do we have against Pittsburgh still?
2 more this series, including tonight. And then we have, let me go back and look.
Well, while you're looking at that,
let me look at like under 500 teams that we're playing going forward. Arizona, Pittsburgh, Arizona again, Washington, the not the Mets are another 500. The Marlins, the Rockies, the Cubs, the Orioles, the Pirates, the Braves, and the Marlins. So the only above 500 teams that we play is the Mets, the Rays, the Padres, the Dodgers, the Reds, and the Mets. Well, other than that, we play no teams over 500.
Well, taking a look at this Pirate series, because again, one step at a time, you need to win both games. This is an inexcusable team to be losing against. I mean, I know the Lowell Mets did it, but they're Lowell Mets.
That's the Mets, yeah.
Taking a look at the Arizona games, you need to win those. Like, they are record-breakingly bad, and you need to take advantage of that. And for the above 500 teams, look, I'm fine if you lose 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers because they're the Dodgers. But you have to win the Mets series. That can be inexcusable to lose. You lose against the Mets in that series, you're done, honestly, because it's such an uphill climb because you're losing games and you're losing ground to them.
Yeah, and well, if we look in comparison, the Braves are still fighting in this division. However, they have a just as tough schedule. The New York Mets, if I can find them on my screen, there they are. If I can click, can I click? No, the Mets I cannot click on. I have to go through this way. All right, so the Mets the rest of the way. These are the list of teams they play that are under 500. The Marlins, the Nationals, the Phillies, the Nationals, the Marlins, Nationals, Marlins. I think this team's above 500. I'm not going to say their name. And the Marlins and the Braves. Other than that, they play Milwaukee, Boston, Yankees, Cardinals, Giants, Dodgers, Reds.
Right. Again, you got to win the series because
Mhm.
if you not win the series head to head, you might as well throw away the series. I would love to say that we can compete on a race by race basis with the Mets saying, look, if they lose 3 to the Dodgers and we win here, we're all good. But again, I don't think that's going to be enough. I think you have to win a bunch of head to head
You
games.
have to at least win at least one game in all these Mets series, and hopefully the Mets blow Mets some of their series.
Yeah.
That's what you really gotta look at. And then for the Braves, they have a similarly hard schedule. They're playing the Brewers right now. They lost last night. They play the Cardinals, the Reds. These are teams over 500. They play um, the Yankees, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Giants, Padres, and yeah, the rest of the division has a really tough schedule. We have the easiest chance. However, this team always has competition. I mean, problems playing down to playing down to their competition. And with our rotation as it is, and our offense that cannot hit with runners in scoring position and save their lives, it's going to be scary. However, if this team really decides to put the 1 and 2 together, they can win this division. However, it's just more of a fact of do they want to?
You know, I don't know because like the Braves should be not irrelevant, but they're getting pretty close to relevant. That starting rotation, I think it's being led by Tuki Toussaint right now.
Yes, their rotation is awful. Ours is technically better. The Mets, Carlos Carrasco came back today, yesterday, and got shelled by the Cincinnati Reds. Same with us with Vince Velasquez. However, him and Matt Moore are no longer in the rotation. Instead, they're in the bullpen, which probably makes it worse. But we did get Kyle Gibson and Chase Anderson to replace them, along with Ranger Suarez, and hopefully Cole Hamels coming down later down the road.
Yeah, I don't know because I think your main competition here is the Mets. Marlins are Marlins. Nats just sold everything, including my guy Schwarby, who's doing
Mm-hmm.
wonders for my fantasy team. Thank you so much, Schwarby.
And he's on the Red
And
Sox now.
I know he is. Hopefully, with that little Fenway 315 homer to the
Oh yeah, he should have very much fun with
um. But taking a look, your the Mets are your biggest threat. They'll get DeGrom back. They just got
Oh,
Carrasco.
update. DeGrom is shut down for 6 days, I think, from throwing. So he's
Okay.
still at most 2 weeks away from rejoining the team. So the Phillies
Okay.
really need to.
They'll get him back. Like,
Lindor's coming back mid-August as well.
cool. So you're gonna get two major weapons from the Mets coming back in August, and we played the Mets before that.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I would like to sweep the series here. Wouldn't you?
I would love to do that. If I'm looking here with my trusty schedule in front of me. So right now, what did I say the rotation was? So Nola's today. I said Nola, Gibson. Who did I say after that? Oh, Wheeler. I forgot he existed first.
You said something about Ranger Suarez too.
Yes, Suarez starts Wednesday. I think Anderson.
Why are you having your closer start Wednesday?
Because he did used to be a starting pitcher. They're trying to stretch him out. Bailey Falter, who would have been great for that role, as I said earlier, had COVID. So he's rehabbing right now. So he is unavailable to he's unavailable. Ranger Suarez, I think Jojo already said that Ian Kennedy is now moving into that closer's role. He is 16 for 17 on save chances so far this year. So,
Well, let me ask you this. Ian Kennedy also used to be a starter, and he's a more reliable. I don't know. He
I
could be
guess
more
it's
reliable
more.
than that.
Oh, I mixed that up. It's Nola, Gibson, Suarez, Wheeler, Anderson, and
But again,
then it's Aaron Nola again. So this is Pirates.
Ian Kennedy's a really reliable reliever who also used to be a starter. So why don't you just put him in the role, and yet you can still use Ranger Suarez as the closer that you
I
have?
guess he's more formed. Kennedy is to the closer's role for how long he's been doing it so far this year. I guess they still believe with Suarez is like he's young. He can still he has more longevity, I guess. Washington, 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 Washington. And then it would be Gibson, Suarez, Wheeler. And that Mets series is 3 games, so it'd be Mets, Mets, Mets. So your 3 pitchers for that series would be Gibson, Suarez, and Wheeler. That's a pretty good rotation going into that series. For the Mets, however, they should have. Well, they didn't really add much at the deadline. I mean, they added Javier Baez. They added Tyler Hill or whatever his name is. But I don't think they really did much other than that. So Hill's starting tonight for the Mets. Then you have tomorrow. It's Marcus Stroman. Then they have Then they play Miami. It's TBD. Miami's TBD. So if I'm just going off their previous rotation, so that would be Carrasco. Who pitched before Carrasco? That would have been then Walker. And then who pitched before Taiwan Walker? Trevor May? No, Trevor May didn't pitch then. Nope, it is May, I guess. That's the rotation, I guess. That's your that's your 5-man rotation, I guess.
I thought Trevor May was a reliever at one point.
I think he is a reliever. Cause Jared Eichhoff, they had him in there. I don't know if they DFA'd him or not. Cause I'm just trying to figure out. It won't show me the dumb box score for this game. So I'm just gonna put TBD there. So it's just easier. So then it'll be Stroman, the TBD guy, Walker, Cookie,
Wait, who's Cookie?
Carlos Carrasco,
Oh yeah, Cookie. Yeah.
Hill, Stroman, TBD. So if you're going off of that rotation, so they play Cincinnati tonight, and that's Stroman. No, that's Hill. So that's Cincinnati. Miami is TBD. Miami's Walker. Miami's Carrasco. Hill is Miami. So then for the Phillies series, you'll be facing Marcus Stroman, to be determined, and then Taiwan Walker. So you're facing the 2 strongest links of this rotation at this point, along with a random, and that works out well for you, for the Phillies at least, is because you'll have Stroman versus Gibson, which is a good pitching matchup. To be determined versus Suarez, so that's probably most likely going to be a bullpen game for both teams, and then you got Taiwan Walker versus Zach Wheeler. In that series, you're going to heavily rely on your pitching. On your offense, I would believe.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can take 2 out of 3 that series.
Yeah.
Sweep would be nice. I feel pretty sure that we'll win the game. Zach Wheeler versus Taiwan Walker. I'll take that one. Bullpen game, it's again up to the starters for that bullpen. If Ranger comes out and gets shelled, well, bye bye. And then I haven't seen Gibson yet, but once I do,
He's sucked against Detroit, been okay against other teams. He's a ground ball pitcher, so we will need that defense to show up.
But remember, we have like one of the worst defenses in.
Yeah, that's why I think we added Galvin. So right now, if you're looking at our schedule, it's more likely that hopefully we should win these next 2 games against the Pirates. We should win Wheeler's next start. Like, I'm just going off the pitcher. We should win Nola's start. We should win Gibson's start. We should win Wheeler's. We should win Nola's. We should win Gibson's, and we should win Wheeler's. That leaves question marks with Suarez, Anderson, and Suarez. So that's 3 starts that are really big question marks for this team. So right now, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stretch. I'm looking for them to win 6 out of 8. If they can, I mean, that doesn't work out math wise.
I think they'll win half of them because Chase Anderson with all his starts, the best he could probably muster up is a solid 2-run game.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the way I saw him, he's just a average 5 pitcher, maybe a little subpar. I don't think we can keep winning bullpen games. I think we need to have a starter in there.
Yeah, so I think in that Washington series, we should win. Juan Soto is the only player left on that team that can really produce runs for the Washington Nationals.
I I
Even
forget.
Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison are both gone. That leaves Victor Robles, Juan Soto, and their rotation, except for
Well,
John Lester, who got traded to St. Louis.
is Bell still there? He can
Josh
still
Bell is also still there.
he can,
Yes.
he can score runs.
Yes. So with that, say in the Washington series, we lose that one Anderson game. And say Suarez wins his first start and earns another one. Then most likely, probably against the Mets in that game 2, it will be a bullpen game, and I'm just expecting a disaster. So I'm just saying it now there. We should win against Pittsburgh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We should win 7 out of 1, 2, 3. So how many L's do we have here? 1, 2. We should go 7 for 9 in this next 9 games. We should.
Yeah, but again, that's a should. I feel like we're gonna drop 1 or 2 games.
Then again, yeah, Rhys Hoskins is not expected to return until Monday with a groin injury. Other than that, everybody else is healthy. Bryce Harper has been sketchy defensively these past couple of games. Something has been bothering him injury wise.
I'm gonna say we're gonna win 5 of the next 9. Just to be safe, because I feel like we're gonna drop 1 or 2 games that we shouldn't, and something's gonna happen. Maybe one bullpen wise. I think it's gonna be 5 out of 9.
I'm gonna go on my low side 6 out of 9, and I'm gonna say high on the side we win all of them. That would be obviously is the highest you can go, but I'm gonna say err on the side of caution with 6 of 9. And the one game I'm gonna say we'll probably also lose will probably be that Suarez game against Washington. I think we might lose that one because it's mostly a bullpen game. Our bullpen has been decent. It's just mostly been starting rotational problems this past couple days, and it's going to be up to them. If you're looking at the Mets schedule in their next 9 games, they play Cincinnati tonight. Then they play Cincinnati on Sunday. They should win these next game. Actually, I think they'll probably lose tonight. So if you're looking at their next 9 games, I kind of expect an a W tomorrow with Stroman on the mound. They should beat Miami. They'll probably lose 1 to Miami.
They're gonna lose a couple to Miami. We always do. You have to remember that.
Not us. I'm talking about the Mets.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Mets will probably win 3 out of 4 against Miami. And then against us, I have them losing the first game, winning the second game, and losing that last game. So in that stretch, they go 4 for 9. Yeah. So they go 4 for 9. And then if you're looking at the Mets, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna say 7 out of 9 right now. Mets win 4 out of 9. Actually, I'm gonna say 3 out of 9. I think they will drop another game against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's red hot. Joey Votto is going for a major league record tonight. I think he gets that. I do believe the Mets will go 3 for 9. We go 7 for 9. Now for the Braves. This is a very, very weird team to go off of right now. Starting pitching is really bad. Tuki Toussaint got obliterated last night. 4 runs in 2 consecutive innings, so that's fun. I got to think the Braves get swept here against the Brewers. They got Brandon Woodruff tonight, and they got Brian Anderson on Sunday against Charlie Morton. So I'd say the Braves in this stretch, they most likely, so they're playing 1, 2, 3, so 2, 5, 8. In that same amount of games, they're playing 8 games. So, in my opinion, I do think the Braves will most likely they'll probably sweep the Nationals. Actually, they'll probably win 2 out of 3 against the Nationals, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3 against the Cardinals on the road, and they'll get swept. So I think they'll win 3 out of 8 is my prediction.
Yeah.
And let me just double check to make sure the Mets also play 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Yeah, 9. So if that were say if the Phillies go 7 for 9, no problems at all. And 3 for 9 for the Mets. So if the Mets go 3 for 9, They'll be at 57 and 57. They'll be at 500. If we go 7 of 9, wait, no, I did that. I can't do math. They'll be 57 and 54. We would be 58 and 54. And the Braves would be 54 and 58. And if you're going off the win percentage for standings wise, that's 57 divided by 57 plus 54 is equal to 111.
This segment is called Mitchell doing math.
Yeah, this is the fun part where I fail how to input numbers into my calculator. So the Mets would have a 514 winning percentage. I mean, a 51.4 winning percentage, and the Phillies would have 54 plus 58 is equal to that. 58 divided by 112 is equal to this number. And then same number divided by that is equal to, okay. So if all goes well, we go 7 of 9, Mets go 3 of 9, and the Braves go 3 for 8. These are what the rankings would be in the NL East. Marlins, Nationals, Braves, Mets, Phillies. If that happens, the Phillies would be in first place. They would be up by 4% points up above the. They'll be a half game ahead of the Mets for first place in the win column. And that's because the Braves had a half doubleheader weird thing. The Mets make that up with a day off, I believe, in the coming days. Yeah, they make that off with an off day on the 9th while the Phillies play. On the 9th, I believe. Nope, they have a day off. They make it up at some point. But I really do think this team has chances. The NL East, they're not done. A lot of people are writing them off because of the starting pitching. It's simply solvable if they can just get innings out of these guys in the offense.
And also, our offense doesn't completely collapse. I mean, taking a look at, some of this stuff earlier this month, they couldn't hit flying rock coming at them. They couldn't hit a beach ball.
They couldn't hit unless they were down by a lot of runs or until the very end of the game.
Yeah.
And now, they can't hit for scoring position as well.
But yet we take a look at, grand slam for Brad Miller, great home runs by McCutchen, Real Muto, people really coming out of their shell. I sort of like this. I think their offense is coming back to life a little bit. It all depends on that pitching, and it also depends on playing down to their competition and just dropping a bunch of games.
Yeah, totally agree. And with that, I think it's totally possible. I mean, once we get Freddie Galvis back, that allows us to platoon Didi Gregorius, who has not been good so far this year.
Imagine us begging for Freddie Galvis, even though we wanted him out of here a couple years ago. You remember that? Literally, our defense is so pathetic on so many levels because of that Bronx dude, Didi Gregorius, that we
to be honest, I was surprised we didn't trade for Michael Franco as well. He's on the Orioles. He would have been a great bench bat, a lot better than some of them.
Imagine us begging for Michael Franco. Anyway.
Just imagine if the trade was Franco and Galvis.
Talk about that we want Freddie Galvis back in the first place. Because, again, there are people that want to trade for Freddie Galvis, and there are people that want him out of there. At one point, we wanted him out of there because I don't think he was a productive piece anymore. Mm-hmm. But yet we want him back. I mean, that's how pathetic our gloves are. That we need to get this defensive man of Freddie Galvis, which we've seen make ridiculous plays time and time again, but yet is like a walking, talking Ben Revere when it comes to the bat.
Yeah, it's literally that left side of the infield is what's causing a lot of these rumors, especially when Josh Donaldson was rumored to become available in a Byron Buxton trade. That's why a lot of people were willing to trade Alec Boehm. If his offense was performing this year, that's one thing. His offense has not been performing well, and his defense has been utterly awful.
I
You can't
I would
even defend it.
I would call that a sophomore slump. I think he'll get stronger.
Yeah,
I
he
re-
will probably definitely improve next year. However, it's just a thing a lot of people weren't expecting it.
no, but again, there's another possibility where he turns like remember, Reese was projected to be a 250 hitter at one point. But yet he's going out and bats, 220 consistently because that's just who Reese is. It could be the same for Bohm where he completely collapses like that, but I I I I think he's better. I really do.
Hmm.
Um,
So if
but
I'm just looking at our lineup for next year,
yeah.
and and the only confirmed spots you have is Hoskins, JT, Harper and right, and Segura at second base.
Mhm.
Other than that, your entire team is open for reassignment. Left field's open, center field's open, third base is open, shortstop is open. I'm not giving Bohm third base. I would
Probably,
give him designated hitter before I give him third base.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's really tricky what we're gonna do here because one at one point it's pretty open, but again, it's really tricky who you're gonna fill in here and there because remember, McCutcheon's gonna be leaving. He's not.
I still think we'll sign him back on a 1 year nine, not on his 1 year $15 million contract that he
You
has
think
going
he'll
into
take a
next
pay
year.
cut?
Yeah, he'll take the pay cut because he loves the city, and I think he still believes in this team.
City's one thing, but do you know what also talks?
Money.
Money. Thank
I
you.
just don't think he'll go to the Orioles, say for 10. I think the Phillies are going to be the only team that's willing to give him money.
Look, if you're willing to pay me enough, I will go anywhere. I will go to like broadcasting wise. If ESPN's giving me $6 million and Barstool gives me 10, I'll go to Barstool because they're paying me. Like it's the same with athletes. Like it's a human nature to take money, and you would have to agree with me for that. Like you would do the same thing if you're in that situation too. Because honestly, earning $10 million to invest into your life and to whatever you want to do into the six, it's just that much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Andrew McCutchen, I'm sorry to say, will never win a World Series in his career. He's too old. He's just too old, and the Phillies have just too much work they need to do it in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But
So this is what I'm. You keep going. I'm not done with. I thought I was
but,
ready to say what I was going to say.
but like if you want to if there is an opportunity to go to Baltimore and make I bet you just use Baltimore as an example or something like that. But like it just imagine this is real. Baltimore offers, double the amount of money that the Phillies does. I think he goes to Baltimore. I think he'll leave. Because I just don't think a ring is in his future.
Mm. So this rotation, this lineup I'm about to propose once I'm done figuring out how to remember this guy's name. There it is. And I fill out the bullpen real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One. So if I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That leaves me with a 7-man bullpen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And say Maris is still here. Probably resign him. He's not staying. He's probably staying. He's staying. We'll probably no, we probably won't. Alvarado's still here. Who am I forgetting from the bullpen? Who's like would probably be there? Um,
I'm at a loss.
so who's in our bullpen that you think is good right now? Oh, Suarez. Thank you. And
That one person.
and I think we would probably resign this guy if he's good or not. So this is John Middleton says, okay, we need to do something. Let's spend money. Money talks to the people of Philadelphia. Show them money. Show them a good team. You get money in return. Does that sound fair?
That's very fair, and that's what they do with Rice and Ramito. But yes,
True, but you're not showing a true contender. However, with next year's free agency class, you can show that. With Dave Dombrowski at the helm, you're going to do some pain. So, one second. I need to. Who's a good free agent? Left switch, right. Dots.
if you wanted to get a free agent, this was the time to do it. I'm sorry, but like, look, we're taking a look at good free agents. Blah 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 blah. This free agent class was massive. I mean, taking a look, Javier Baez, well, they're not free agents, but the trade talk,
Yeah.
the trade deadline. I mean, if there was a time to get someone, this is the time to get. I mean, Chris Bryant going to the Giants, Javier Baez. Are you kidding me?
Is Josh Harrison a lefty? Sorry, I'm just cutting in here.
Who?
Josh Harrison.
No, I thought he was a righty.
All right, if he's a righty, that works out for me. Okay, so yeah, I totally agree with you. However, I do think the Dave Dombrowski was like, I'll just spend the money later. I do believe they're going to spend money. However, I just don't think they wanted to spend the prospect capital to get him now, have him leave, and et cetera, et cetera. This is what I would do. For your starting rotation, you get Zach Wheeler, Noah Syndergaard, who's a free agent, and I don't think he's re-signed with the New York Mets. Aaron Nola, Justin Verlander, and Kyle Gibson. That's your rotation. Then for your bullpen, you have Bailey Falter, Connor Brogdon, Jose Alvarado, Ranger Suarez, Ian Kennedy, Archie Bradley, I think he resigns, and then Hector Neris. Oh, Ranger Suarez, I think I missed over him. So that would be your bullpen. Now listen to this lineup. This is truly possible since there's no there's a lot of stuff going on here in the lineup. So here's your lineup. So I think we re-signed McCutchen. He's your left fielder. Then you got Byron Buxton, and so this is your outfield. Just imagine trading for people. Say Boehm's gone and stuff.
Yeah.
McCutchen, Buxton, Harper, Josh Donaldson, Gene Segura, Didi Gregorius at DH, Reese Hoskins, JT Realmuto at catcher, Trevor Story. That's your infield and outfield and catcher, etc.
You think we have a shot to get Story?
I do believe so if we can make these other moves.
Who is your main contender to get Story besides the Phillies in your mind? Is it the Yankees? Is it someone else like
the Cincinnati Reds?
Okay, you're thinking the Reds.
Mm-hmm. They are a smart market team. They won't be able to put us money up. I do think the Reds are a good choice for him. However, he would want to go there is a question.
Okay.
Money talks a lot, as you said. I would say the Yankees, but they don't really have a place for him.
Yeah,
in their lineup.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. You don't get Story. You don't get Story. He goes to do you put Gregorius back at shortstop, or you still keep him at DH with Galvis?
I would keep him at DH. Oh, Galvis is under a contract for no. He's a rental, isn't
he? He may be a rental. You may be right.
So save because this is what I'm getting at. So save Story goes on your bench. You have Andrew Knapp as always. He's your backup catcher probably for the next little bit unless we trade Rafael Marchand. Then Odubel Herrera is still going to be here probably for another year. And then I probably have re-signing Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison can play shortstop. That's an interesting thing. Bryson Stott, I do believe, will be on the team next year. And Luke Williams. So you will have a long, young bench, but bench that can do stuff. So you could possibly have Gene Segura moving over to shortstop or Bryson Stott playing shortstop as he was meant to be. He is a long-term second baseman. However, if you need him to, he will play shortstop. So overall, I do think this team, it's crazy, I know, but like it's possible in baseball. Baseball, no salary cap. You just need some money, pay a tax. Team's yours.
Yeah, I can see that. Just looking at Josh Harrison right now, just to see. He hasn't been traded yet, have they?
He has. He's on the Oakland Athletics now.
Okay. Is that just for a rental contract?
I do believe so.
Okay. You know what? He could be a nice backup option. He gets doubles like crazy. He can hit the ball.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Chubb has agreed to an extension with the Browns. That's news. 3 years, $36.6 million.
Do you know a funny thing about Harrison?
What?
He went to Princeton High School, but it's
Huh.
nowhere near Princeton, New Jersey, like the university. It's actually Ohio.
Bruh. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But yeah,
But I do think the top priorities for Dave Dombrowski in this offseason should be Noah Syndergaard, Justin Verlander, Buxton, and Donaldson. So that's kind of three. And Trevor, shortstop. If you get those four, I could deal with a bad bullpen again. I could. Because
yeah,
your starting pitching would be amazing. I think our bullpen's good enough to handle with that. And
you
if you
get a
just
couple.
don't need to get to them as often.
You get a couple former All Stars and All Stars on your team. You're going to be pretty good, even without a great bullpen. I mean, yeah, this sounds like a pretty decent team, but will Middleton go out and one, get all those players? I mean, some will
Mm-hmm.
go to other teams, I'm sure. And two, will he be willing to spend the money?
Well, apparently Dave Dombrowski said they had no limit on the amount of they could go over the salary cap. I mean, salary tax this trade deadline. However, they believed it was in best interest with the team that there was no good teams deals out there in order to spend the money and go over. And I think he said that it's most likely we're going to do it in the off season. And I truly believe that. Byron Buxton's will be the topic of the summer. Starling Marte is also out there. However, if I'm Dave Dombrowski, I'm looking at Byron Buxton and getting him as soon as you think the season's over, because then he's a rental. You can work on an extension. You got your long-term third center fielder, and also you can get a good DH third baseman in Josh Donaldson. Then after that, I would focus on the starting pitching rather than getting a shortstop right away at the start of free agency. I would focus on getting, say, Verlander or Noah Syndergaard. If you have Wheeler, Syndergaard, Verlander, Nola, and Gibson's your number 5 starter. I would say that's pretty nice, given the careers all these players have had.
You're just reaping up on former Mets. that would be.
You
Wait, what
basically just stealing all the DeGroms that were on.
Syndergaard injured for the Mets right now?
Yes, he wasn't making a comeback, then had a setback, so he's gotta be cheaper than you think. The Mets might go on the cheap side with him, given his injury. And then it'll probably be up to Syndergaard if he wants to say Phillies offer more money. It'll be up to him if he wants to stay a Met or go to a division rival for more money, like Wheeler did. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but is there some basketball? There's some big news in basketball.
Oh yeah. Well, Sixers made a draft. They didn't draft. Luka Garza went right out of their fingertips. He got drafted at 52. Sixers had the 53rd pick. Daryl Morey really liked him. However, he did not want to spend the 50th overall pick on him. Instead, he went with, I think, Kevin Bagley is his name.
He's from Western Kentucky. He's so good.
That's the 53rd pick.
Oh no.
50. So our first round pick is Springer from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Then we had a guy from
Sixers draft picks. No, there's a guy that was 4, and I know we got him. Here are grades for the Sixers pick. Sorry, scrolling. Drayden Springer. We got Philip Pedrusev.
Yes, the Serbian guy. Serbian.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the guy with the 50th overall pick.
And then looking at Charles Bassey. I mean, this guy looks massive.
Yeah, I would have honestly. I liked the Serbian guy. I would have preferred Garza. I know people say he's slow and stuff, but he can move around, and he's 4 and 5s are not supposed to be point guards out on the floor. I mean, as you said in the last episode, you saw Garza firsthand, and he's a good player, and I think he would have been a great long-term backup. I hope he does well in Detroit. However, can't have anything in Detroit, so can't really say much about that.
Well, taking a look, you have 2 possibilities for big men, and you're going to be testing them out in the summer league. That's going to be your big thing. All 3 picks, I think, have been confirmed that they will be going to summer league.
Yes, I do believe so.
So Springer, Pedrusev, and Bassey. And
I think Paul Reed's going to summer league as well. Rajon Tucker might be too. Isaiah Joe is most likely going there as well, and maybe Tyrese Maxey.
but looking at Joe Maxey, they're going to make the team. That's fine.
Mhm.
The thing that I'm interested in the most is who's going to be your backup center, because remember, there's two big men. It's either Pedrusev or just a couple of picks back in Bassey, because I don't.
Well, we can get Tony Bradley back. I thought we retained his rights when we traded him away. I thought Tony Bradley would be a good. I thought we would get him back. Maybe resign to Dwight Howard, but I guess that's not happening now. The
I
picks have
guess
been made.
not. But that's gonna be an interesting summer league battle in Vegas. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm disappointed that we didn't get what we wanted for Simmons. I mean, Morey was asking outrageous prices from the Warriors.
I still don't think that's right. I think Maury's smart enough to know what he's worth. I think he's just trying to say, oh, it's just people are pointing this out saying, oh, he's offering this much. Brendan Simmons.
Well, no, but taking a look at all the other people from the NBA, like remember, I'm a part of the Unwrapped Sports Network. Shout out to them, where I have basketball experts in this network from across the country. Everyone was in unison, including people from Philadelphia in the network, that Daryl Morey was asking too much for Ben Simmons. So I still think we're going to get our star. I don't think we're going to get all the picks he's asking for.
Yeah, I don't
I,
think we're gonna get the picks he's asking for. I think in the end we're gonna get Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal supposedly wanting to stay in Washington after they trade away Russell Westbrook, and Spencer Dinwiddie literally said he does not want to go to the Wizards. So you literally have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, and some other guy I've never heard of before, and Bertans.
yeah. Well, but
How does Beal want to stay on this team? If I'm Beal, I'm trying to jump ship to a team that can make me win. If he thinks he can win on the Wizards, that's not going to happen.
well,
You're not going
no.
to win
Well,
anything.
for him, I think this man earns his pay. This man really needs to
He
earn
earns
his.
his pay, but however, the team that he plays for doesn't deserve him, is what I'm saying.
No, I get that, but again, I think the whole thing about getting a star, I don't think that's over asked. That's not my problem. My problem is you're asking for like 4 first-round picks, and no team is going to give that up for
Well,
Benson.
yeah, then again, the Phillies are already the worst team known to man against
Oh, lovely.
these people. Wait, is this who I think it is? This guy, this guy Ben Gamel. He's like been in the league for a while, but he's like finally on his team. I have his rookie autograph on a baseball cards I saw today. I was
Yeah,
like, "Who is this Ben Gamel guy? Oh, he's probably not even in the league anymore. He's batting leadoff for the Pirates tonight."
that's lovely. Why they just hit a home run or something?
No. Bryce Harper swung out, swinging. JT called down strikes, and Gene Segura grounded out. So yeah,
Lovely hitting, boys. But
yeah.
yeah, so I don't think you're going to be getting like 4 first-round picks for this guy.
You're
Honest.
not, and like especially with the Warriors. I mean, with the Raptors, it made sense that there wasn't any draft picks because you were getting some All-Star caliber players. However, with the Warriors, there's no All-Star caliber players other than Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry on that team.
Yeah,
That
but
I could see the Sixers.
you're taking a look at a young James Wiseman who could develop into untapped potential.
Yes, but I think what people are saying is the Sixers might have flipped him because I don't see Wiseman. He's a 4, but then you got Tobias there. Then you have a backlog of too many small forwards, and then you have too many shooting guards. Not just like parallel effect down the line. So I do. That's the only reason why I think some of these reports are fake because of how they would fit in our team. Embiid and Wiseman would be a dominant duo. Don't get me wrong. However, I just believe Daryl will make the right move when it's time. Ben Simmons trolled people on Twitter by saying, now time to hit a pool after like he was shown working out in a gym and he said, oh, time to hit the pool. It's like Ben wants a trade. We want to trade him. It should happen at some point, but I just hope it's for the right player.
Yeah, I agree.
But the thing is, would you rather trade for a shooting guard or a point guard? There's this team with too many shooting guards on its roster.
Well,
That'd
you
be
have
interesting.
Seth Curry under contract, so why don't you just take the point guard? Or I don't know if Bradley Beal can play it, but maybe
He
he.
can, but he's more of a shooting guard because Russell handled the point last year.
Okay, that's cool and all, but we need a point guard. We don't
Yeah,
need.
but if we do make that trade, George Hill will need to move on. I still think he's dead weight. 1 year, $10 million contract. Did not do anything last year. Yeah.
he should be out. But it should be interesting what Daryl does. I have trust in him, but whenever someone enters a Philadelphia boardroom, clubhouse, whatever, things start to go south.
Hmm. Yeah. It's going to be interesting what happens. Also, some fun news. More meme news. The Ravens star quarterback, running back, Lamar Jackson has COVID and therefore cannot practice for the Ravens in these coming weeks. However, your favorite quarterback on the Ravens, Trace McSorley, who can throw it on a dime like he isn't trying, was amazing in practice today as he was shown throwing a 50-yard bomb to this one wide receiver I think they just drafted in the first round in the end zone, saying, I'm just saying that Lamar Jackson should just transfer some.
Mahomes threw an 80-yard pass in some of the most mountainous areas in Mexico City where the oxygen compresses your lungs. Yeah, no, not impressive. But thank you for trying, Penn State fan. Speaking of quarterback news, going to Carson real quick.
Not Carson Wentz.
I want to bring this up to you before we wrap up the show. But Carson Wentz, foot injury, out indefinitely. Now, what this means is normally you would say, okay, well, that's not my problem. It is your problem for one reason. He needs to play 75% of the snaps and the Colts to miss the playoffs to get a first round pick. 70, and they do. That is a problem for us because we need our first round pick out of Wentz. And to add to our, big pool of first round picks for next year. No number of firsts would be enough for me. I would take all 30.
Ben, if you were given the decision to trade those picks for a player or draft 3 college level players, what are you doing?
I don't know. I think you're going to be trading one of them for a player. But again, we need some young guys because our whole defense is aging.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be. I don't understand. I don't think out that far. And all the people I've watched in college football have moved on. So.
Right. I get. I'm not a college football fan.
Because I feel so that's the 2022 draft, right?
Yeah. The reason I think this far is I'm not a college football fan. That's the reason for me. It's just that you need some young talent and you need them because Fletcher Cox is getting old. Brandon Graham's getting old. I mean, Lane Johnson's even getting older on the offensive line. Jason Kelsey won't be around too much longer.
So, yeah, in this situation, they have us next year drafting a quarterback from Florida, Kyer Elam.
No. Okay.
Elam.
Why are they projecting us to draft a quarterback?
Cornerback. I'm sorry, cornerback. Defensive side of the ball. Yes, my apologies.
You gave me a heart attack, Mitchell.
Yeah, wow. A lot of people are still saying that if Hurts sucks, we should just draft a quarterback. And I'm like, I don't know.
Plus, we have Joe Flacco. Who's better than Joe Flacco?
Plus, another person I might like on this team is Chris Olave. He's a wide receiver from Ohio State. Juwan Dotson from Penn State will be amazing. He's like KJ Hamler, but better. They also have us drafting Mike Jones, a linebacker from LSU, next year.
That.
And then I would say a defensive end or defensive line would probably be the one place I would want to improve on. Maybe another wide receiver, but in safe. Do we need a safety? I haven't heard nothing about Eagles safeties at all.
Well, I know I haven't heard anything. I know we got that one guy, Anthony
from the Vikings. Yeah, from the Vikings. Yeah.
But I know we need some cornerback help because the legend himself, Cravon LeBlanc, is out of here. I don't want that stupid what's his face that did the Dallas game.
Some guy who I don't remember the name because he sucked.
Some guy who should have been cut.
Hey, Aaron Nola pitched a 1-2-3 first inning, guys. He's already done better than Vince Velasquez.
But my main focus right now is Carson getting healthy and winning and making the playoffs for the Colts. So I get my pick.
Yeah. So here's the top 50
draft prospects. Right now, the number 1 overall pick is expected to be Spencer Rattler, their quarterback from Oklahoma. Derek
Mitchell,
Stin.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Too early.
Yeah.
We haven't played a college season or an NFL season, and we don't even know what Hurts is gonna do. I mean, like all these stupid draft projections by ESPN saying this person's going here. We're gonna give you another draft update in a week. It's stupid because
What the heck is this?
we haven't played a game. We haven't played a preseason game, for crying out loud. No one
Yeah,
cares.
granted, I'm always gonna pick the Penn State players because I like them the most.
Right. Did I ever tell you my Mike Gesicki story?
The one volleyball player guy, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Mm.
But like we haven't even played a preseason game, and no one cares about a preseason game. We haven't even finished training camp for some teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, like the way people are forcing these draft projections early. So that's why I had to stop you. It's just that no one cares right now. If we get to week 17, yeah, people will start to care. But or even as low as week 9, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's just too early. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We'll probably do a college football prediction closer to the start of the college football season, which is Penn State's first game is in 34 days, 16 hours, 39 minutes, and 14 seconds. So football is right around the corner, and it's Penn State, Wisconsin. That's going to be a great game.
Penn State, Auburn whiteout. How about that?
Auburn whiteout, and then there's going to be a Michigan student whiteout, also voluntary whiteout for anybody else who's involved. Unfortunately, the Ohio State Penn State game, which is always around my birthday, is unfortunately in Ohio State this year on my exact birthday. So that's unfortunate. I would probably be going to that if it was at Beaver Stadium. But it's still for Penn State, obviously the one game that they're always going to have the most trouble with is going to be Ohio State. And that game's probably going to decide who wins the Big Ten East. Michigan is not going to do anything. They suck.
Correct. I'm gonna.
Jared is not here to fight me on that, so take that, Jared.
Yeah, Jared. But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick, and then I got to go get.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up after this.
Julian Fleming. Do you know who he is?
No, sir.
He was the one of the top receivers in the country, coming from Southern Columbia High School in Pennsylvania. I think he was the number 1 receiver in the country, and definitely number 1 in PA.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Ohio State University over Penn State, and he does not play.
A lot of teams just go to teams just to be there. Same with Justin Fields. He originally committed to Penn State, left for Georgia, went to Ohio State. Then again, he did get to start right away.
What do you think the point of my story is, Mitchell? Ohio State is so stacked on so many levels that I'll tell you another story. Kyle McCord. He is the greatest thrower I've ever seen play college football, connected to Marvin Harrison Jr. from St. Joe's Prep. They're both going to Ohio State. Kyle McCord will be a backup quarterback. Marvin Harrison may not even play. They are so stacked that I don't see them losing at all.
Didn't the number 1 recruit go from Texas to Ohio State?
I think he did. Like it's insane what they can.
It's going to be a tough game as always. For Penn State, they're strong everywhere. They're going to get stronger. They're the number 1 recruiting. They're number 2 or number 3 for next year's recruiting class. They have so many number 5. Like they popped off for next year. Former Downington West prospect Andrew Shelton. He's at IMG Academy now. He's go to Penn State. Great offensive line prospect. They got top running back prospect. Got a couple defensive. They're going to be great. However, this year, it's going to all rely on the quarterback, Sean Clifford. Clifford was amazing. He's hot and cold. He was cold for the first half of the season last year. Then our backup came in, and then he came in and finished the season great.
Funny story about Sean Clifford before we wrap it up. Sean Clifford, remember the Penn State-Iowa game at the Palestra?
Yes.
I have season tickets at the Palestra for Penn in the second row, but I couldn't get them for Penn State, unfortunately, because they belong to Sean Clifford.
Oh.
So thank you, Sean Clifford. Thank you for taking my seats.
Well, it's going to be a thing. Ohio State obviously will have a new quarterback. Penn State does not really, or Will Levis, our huge backup quarterback, is no longer with the team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. However, if Sean Clifford works well, it's going to be great.
They have a guy named from the junior class who's going to be a senior this year, the year after, look for Bo Prabula. He's a
Pagula,
Prabula, I think his name.
Perbula.
He is from Central York, and
Hmm.
he committed to Penn State as a junior. So take a look out for him. He'll be in the quarterback situation in the future too.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting seeing. We'll do a college football prediction closer to the start of the season, so that'll be a couple weeks from now. Well, right now, your Phillies update at the time of recording at 7:24 on Saturday night. Phillies are tied 0-0, top of the second, 2 outs, and Brad Miller just grounded out. Alec Bohm is up to bat. That's all the situation we have with you today. Thank you for joining us for episode 23 of the Liberty for Philly podcast. We really enjoy your support for the podcast. Make sure to drop a subscription, like, comment, follow our Twitter, follow Ben, follow everything he does. All that will once again be in the description below. You made it to another episode. See you guys next time.